So I'm a normal Chinese girl. I grew up in a family of 5 kids. My parents own a restaurant. My dad is a kung fu master, tried to teach us kung fu. Uh, my brother and I, we were taken care of by our grandmother. As you can see, she was watching over little baby me. My brother and I, we used to always like to play make-believe. In this picture, we were pretending to be part of the Chinese mafia because, we thought that was cool when we were that young. We also like to go dim sum on occasion. We grew up in the southwestern part of Virginia, so we would only get dim sum in DC, New York, or San Francisco. So it was not very frequent for us to actually get some dim sum. Oh yeah, I got you. You probably thought I was from China, right? So, I did grow up in the southwestern part of Virginia, this little town named Radford. One of a few Chinese families there. And you know what? Growing up, my family and I, we embraced being both Chinese and American. I mean, we celebrate the Chinese holidays, like we have 2 birthdays in China, the lunar birthday and then of course the Western birthday. We celebrate Christmas, we celebrate the Chinese New Year and the Dragon Boat Festival. Oftentimes I feel like I'm not quite Asian enough. I meet other Chinese and I shake their hands and everything and they start speaking Mandarin to me and it's like, oh, you don't speak Chinese? Well then you're not Chinese. Okay. Yeah, I told them I don't speak Chinese. When I'm in Japan, I was there for a study abroad, and even though I was the international student there, the Japanese treated me as if I were one of them, because they didn't see me as being a foreigner. They were like, you're Japanese, so what? I've had people say to me that, they walk up to me thinking that I'm Korean or Japanese or Chinese. They just speak to me in their language, and I'm like, wait, I'm American. And then they're like, oh, okay. Once in high school, I had an American classmate take a peek at my C+ in pre-calculus. And she says to me, I thought all Chinese were good in math. I really wanted to punch her at that point. But a lot of times I also feel like I'm not quite American enough. I've always been the token Asian in my groups of friends growing up. They always ask me to do like funny stuff. Like, oh, do something Asian. I'm like, sure, I'll do that. I went to DU for a brief year, and I get people asking me, where are you really from? Because they don't believe me when I say I'm from Virginia. I'm like, I can totally do the Virginia accent if you want me to. I'm not Chinese, But then, other Americans, they also say like, wow, your English is really good. How long have you known how to speak it? And I've had one guy tell me while he was drunk, if you buy me a drink, me love you long time. So, can I be both Chinese and American? Being biracial, well not biracial, bicultural is a lot harder than being biracial or multicultural. Because you see me, you think, she's Chinese, but it's like, well, I'm American as well. So, I just feel like I can enjoy things like the Cherry Blossom Festival, which is Japanese, or the Dragon Boat Festival, or even St. Patrick's Day. I can enjoy my time in Montana. I always go up there because my sister lives up there, and it's funny, whenever our family visits, her friends are always like, Ching's family, because we're the only Asians in that area. So they all think I assume we're family. Luckily for them. I like to go to Tokyo and actually be a tourist, be an American. It's funny when they walk up to me and they speak to me in Japanese. My Japanese is pretty good, but it takes me a while to process the thought. And so when they talk to me and then I try to respond, they just think I'm a retarded Japanese person. Which, I don't want them to think that. And then, I like to do all American things too. This is Sculpture Gardens in Minneapolis. I like to go to Six Flags, Busch Gardens in Virginia. I like to do all this stuff that's considered American. So why do we have to categorize? Why do we have to say like, oh, well, because you look Chinese, you must do this? Or, oh, you're not quite Asian enough because you're doing Ignite, It's like, in the end, we're all human, In the end, I can only be myself, Helene Kwong, ABC, American-born Chinese, as you would say. And, that's all there is to it, So, what? So, pretty much, yeah, if you guys want to talk more about it or you want to get in touch with me, I'll do a little southern accent for you. I'll give my information and I'll do that another time. See y'all again.